husband admitted something I already knew. I have to share this heartwarming moment that happened recently with my husband. We've been together for 21 years and married for almost 15, and I can honestly say there isn't a single day that goes by where I don't feel like a goddess in his eyes. The other day, while we were lounging on our bed, he snuggled up to me and whispered, "There is no man in this world who loves his wife as much as I love mine." Honestly, I already knew that. From the moment we met back in high school in 2004, I could tell he was something special. I was a cashier at a grocery store, and he was the shy cart boy who always bagged my groceries. After a few weeks of playful chatting, I asked him for his AOL Instant Messenger screen name. I was shocked to find out he went to my school and was even in my gym class. I felt a bit embarrassed, but he forgave me, and soon after, he asked me out to the movies. I still have that ticket stub, and it's a sweet reminder of how far we've come. Fast forward to now, and we have 3 wonderful kids and a beautiful life together. My husband goes above and beyond to make me feel cherished every single day. He's always looking for little ways to make my life easier. For instance, after a long day of wrangling our kids, he'll come home, seek me out for a kiss, and sometimes even say, "Mom first," which makes me feel so special. He works an hour away, so I handle most of the running around during the week. But when he gets home, he takes over. He's the kind of guy who checks our Google Calendar and texts me to say, "Hey, it looks crazy today. How about I bring home dinner?" It's those little gestures that make me feel seen and appreciated. He even keeps a notes app on his phone for gift ideas based on things I mention. And on the first day of my period, I can always expect him to come home with my favorite snacks and give me some much-needed alone time with my heating pad. He just knows when I'm feeling overwhelmed and steps in to help. Honestly, his presence is like a magic stress reducer for me. I try to show him just how much I love and appreciate him too. His love language is physical touch, which works out perfectly because I love snuggling up to him. And for those who might be wondering, yes, our romantic life is thriving, even with 3 kids in the mix. I just feel incredibly lucky to have him by my side. I hope I tell him enough how much he means to me. It's moments like these that remind me of the deep love we share, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I recently had a moment with my husband that really made me reflect on our relationship. He admitted something that honestly, I already knew deep down. It was one of those moments where you realize just how much love and appreciation exists between us, even if it sometimes goes unspoken. You see, I juggle a full-time job and taking care of our kids, and I often feel overwhelmed. But my husband has always been there, supporting me in ways that I might take for granted. When he opened up about how he sees my efforts and how much he appreciates everything I do, it struck a chord with me. It was a reminder that love is not just about grand gestures. It's also about the little things we do for each other every day. I could go on for days about the ways he helps me and how grateful I am for him, but I know that can get a bit lengthy. The important part is that this conversation brought us closer together. It made me realize that expressing gratitude is something we should all do more often. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget to acknowledge the love and support we receive. After sharing this moment, I felt inspired to make sure I express my appreciation for him more openly. It's funny how we often think that our loved ones know how we feel without saying it. But sometimes a simple acknowledgement can mean the world. I hope that everyone can find a way to express their gratitude, just like my husband did. It's a beautiful thing when love is shared and celebrated. Am I the bad guy for making my mom's boyfriend mad because I won't call him dad? Update: I recently found myself in a bit of a family drama that I never expected. My mom's boyfriend John and I had moved about 15 hours away from our hometown for his job. It was supposed to be a fresh start for all of us, but things quickly turned complicated. You see, my biological dad passed away unexpectedly a while back, and I have a lot of emotional baggage tied to that. John, knowing this, still insisted that I should call him Dad. I tried to explain my feelings, but he kept pressing me about it. Then one day we got into a heated argument. John was rude and seemed a bit hostile, and in the heat of the moment, he stormed off to his room. A few moments later, he called my mom, and I could hear him yelling at her. Thankfully, she defended me, but it ended with him leaving to stay at his mom's place. After he left, my mom decided to take charge. She moved all of John's things to the guest bedroom and even installed a lock on my door that only I had the key to. It felt a little strange, but I appreciated her looking out for me. She even planned to move a mini fridge into my room so I wouldn't have to come out much. Then, John came back. When he saw his stuff moved, he completely lost it again. He yelled at my mom, but this time, she stood her ground and yelled back. I didn't catch what she said, but it must have been effective because he went silent and stormed off, grabbing his things and loading them into his truck. As I stepped out to grab my cat, who was terrified of all the noise, John looked at me and said, "I hope you're happy for ruining something good," before slamming the door behind him. After that, my mom spent the rest of the day calling friends and family, trying to find us a way back home. Thankfully, she found a place, and we're moving back soon. Our landlords were supportive and even said they didn't want any of John's family living there. My mom blocked him on everything, and we were ready to leave that drama behind. I had some people asking about John's behavior, and let me tell you, he wasn't just upset about the dad thing. He spent all day gaming, expected my mom to cook for him, and didn't lift a finger around the house. It was a lot to deal with, and we just needed time to figure things out after the initial move. Interestingly, my mom had recorded part of their argument, just in case things escalated. In it, she explained how I call someone else my dad because he showed me what fatherly love should be after my biological dad was abusive. John yelled something ridiculous like, "I don't get why he calls a dead man his dad when he's not even related to him." Safe to say, we both had a pretty low opinion of him after that. In the end, John tried to reach my mom through a friend's number, and his tone shifted from angry to begging. But my mom stood firm, and we're still moving back home. It's been a wild ride, but I'm grateful to have my mom on my side.
Going on my first ever date tomorrow, I remember the excitement and nerves bubbling inside me as I prepared for my first ever date. At 17 years old, I was about to meet a beautiful girl I had met in college, and honestly, I never thought she would say yes when I asked her out. But here I was, with a date set for 7 p.m. at a cozy Indian restaurant called Spice Village. As the day approached, I found myself overwhelmed with questions. What should I wear? What should I say? What do people even do on dates? I decided to bring a single rose instead of a bouquet, thinking it would be more meaningful. After all, I had read somewhere that a single rose could convey a special sentiment. I turned to the internet for advice, and the responses were a mix of supportive and practical tips. One commenter suggested I dress nicely, maybe get a haircut, and definitely show up on time, since I was the one who asked her out. I took their advice to heart, planning to arrive early to greet her at the door. I even had a plan for the evening: dinner, dessert, and then a nice view to cap off the night if everything went well. The day of the date arrived, and I was a bundle of nerves. I made sure to look presentable, and I felt a surge of confidence as I prepared to meet her. I was hopeful that my mind wouldn't go blank during our conversation, but I reminded myself to just be myself. When I finally saw her walk into the restaurant, I was taken aback by how beautiful she looked. I complimented her right away, and we quickly fell into a comfortable rhythm of conversation. We talked about our likes and dislikes, shared stories about college, and even engaged in some playful banter. It felt natural, and I was relieved that I wasn't stumbling over my words. Although I had planned to take her to see a nice view after dinner, we ended up just walking around, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. As the night came to a close, I walked her home, and we shared a sweet kiss. I couldn't believe how well the date went. I really liked this girl, and I was excited about the possibility of her becoming my first girlfriend. Fast forward a couple of months, and I found myself head over heels in love. I never imagined I could feel this way about someone. She was everything I had dreamed of: beautiful, kind, smart, funny, and loyal. I loved how she confided in me and felt comfortable being herself around me. It was like a dream come true. Looking back, I used to think that finding someone who would be interested in me was something only seen in movies, but here I was, in a relationship with a girl I could genuinely see a future with. I was determined to work hard to make something of myself, not just for me, but for her too. I often joked about how I was whipped, but in reality, I was just incredibly grateful to have her in my life. As the months went by, I found myself contemplating the future. I knew I was young, but I couldn't help but think about marriage. I wanted to make her feel loved and cherished every single day. I was a one-woman kind of guy, and I hoped that one day I would be ready to propose. This journey from my first date to falling in love has been nothing short of amazing. It's a reminder that sometimes taking a leap of faith can lead to beautiful things. So here's to new beginnings, unexpected connections, and the excitement of what the future holds. I remember the excitement and nerves of my first date like it was yesterday. It was a whirlwind of emotions as I prepared to meet someone special for the very first time. The anticipation was palpable, and I couldn't help but think about what the future might hold. After 3 months of dating, I found myself pondering a question that felt both thrilling and daunting. When is the right time to think about engagement? I had a decent amount of savings set aside, and I was determined to make sure that if I proposed, we would be set for a comfortable life together in the future. But as I navigated these thoughts, I sought advice from others who had been in similar situations. One commenter shared some wisdom that resonated with me deeply. They reminded me that while it's easy to get swept up in the excitement of love, there's no rush to jump into such a significant commitment, especially at a young age. They suggested giving ourselves a year to truly understand our relationship and grow together before considering engagement. This advice stuck with me. I realized that being engaged too soon could lead to challenges down the road. I thought about how my own experiences and those of others could shape my understanding of love and commitment. I wanted to ensure that our bond was solid and that we were both ready for the next step. Fast forward a year and a half later, and I found myself in a much different place. My girlfriend and I had hit that sweet spot in our relationship, where we were incredibly comfortable with each other. I had been subtly testing the waters regarding her thoughts on marriage, and it became clear that she was ready for that next step. I had even taken the plunge and purchased an engagement ring, but now came the challenge of planning the perfect proposal. Finding the right setting for such a momentous occasion was proving to be a bit tricky. I wanted it to be memorable, something she would cherish forever. I quickly dismissed ideas that felt too cliché, like hiding the ring in a champagne glass or proposing at a theme park. Those just didn't feel right for us. One idea that lingered in my mind was proposing on a beach during sunset while we were on holiday. It seemed romantic and intimate, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there might be something even better out there. I turned to the online community for suggestions, hoping to find inspiration. One commenter wisely pointed out that while a little cheesiness can be charming, it's essential to make the proposal personal to our relationship. They encouraged me to think about special places that held meaning for us. I considered our first date location, a restaurant that had been significant in our journey together. But I worried that she might catch on to my plans if I suggested going there. Then it hit me. She had always dreamed of visiting Spain. Could that be the perfect backdrop for my proposal? The thought of asking her to spend the rest of her life with me, in a beautiful, romantic setting, felt right. As I continued to brainstorm and plan, I realized that this journey was about more than just the proposal itself. It was about celebrating our love and the life we were building together. I was excited to take this next step, knowing that it would lead us to a future filled with love, adventure, and countless memories. And so, with the ring in hand and a heart full of hope, I began to envision the moment I would ask her to be my partner for life, ready to embrace whatever the future had in store for us.